Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. The purchase and pricing purchase question email line from you to me and my hand-picked crew. Want to buy this watch? Email tmosso at thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing the now discontinued Rolex Oyster Perpetual Cosmograph Daytona 116523 yellow gold and 904L highly anti-corrosive Rolex proprietary stainless steel. Rolex owns its own foundry, so it is making the cases, the bracelets, the clasps, even smelting its own gold and blending its own steel. So the watch you see here is a special piece. We're going to throw it on the wrist real quick. And you can see 40 millimeters in diameter. The watch is 12.3 millimeters thick. It is 46.5 millimeters lug to lug, but it is 50.3 millimeters solid end link to solid end link with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Throw it on the wrist, it sits nice and low. The steel gold Rolex Daytonas are the ones to buy if you want to get something like true value. There's really no secondary market markup on these, nor is there a weight at dealers. These are connoisseurs pieces, and if you're a motorsports buff like me, you'll note the steel gold Daytona has been the one given to the winners of the 24 Hours of Daytona, each driver in each class winning car for the last couple of years now. Easy to wear on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. The watch sits nice and flush at just over 12 millimeters thick with a conical bezel and a sloped box section sapphire. This is really an easy watch to wear under a dress cuff, so don't worry about that. And I've seen this watch worn effectively on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference, so don't worry if you've got a small wrist. This watch is designed for it. A traditionally sized Rolex, you can see it doesn't feature the super case profiles, as the lugs are nicely tapered and the sides have a compound curvature, a lovely bit of rounded bowl-like profiling, so you don't have that super case profile you see on the GMTs, the Sea Dwellers, and the subs. You'll also note that the bracelet is firmly of this era. Solid end links, solid center links, satin flanks, polished center, polished outer faces, removable links fixed by screws. It's a double locking clasp. There is a beak and a hook internally, and you can see that latch shut once. You can't actually just open this thing by pulling it. You do need to lift the lift lock to unlatch it. And then there's a second lock with the clamshell and a little kerf underneath so you can more easily dig in your fingernail. There is an easy link system which takes in or out 5 millimeters of length. It's the equivalent of adding or removing one of these sizable links. And then if you look closely, you can see that there are divots drilled inside, so there are 3 different anchoring points. With your strap tool, you can restation the bracelet inside the clasp to fine-tune the fit. So you have 3 ways: easy link, removable links, and the divots to size this watch. Handsome watch. Olive polish and with a metal-on-metal bezel and case combination. It's a different look. Now you can tell it is different from the current 116503 because that watch uses triangular wedge indices for the numerals, whereas this one uses dots. You can also appreciate that the watch has a timeless look, as the Daytona is effectively the same watch that debuted in 1988. Aesthetically, very few changes have been made, meaning there's no planned obsolescence, and from era to era, the automatic Daytona tends to look like itself. So the timepiece with applique yellow gold indices and lovely polished reflective yellow gold chapter rings for its sub-registers. There's also the yellow gold crown and likewise yellow gold hands. All of this gold inside looks good, but it also helps to prevent oxidation and tarnish, so the interior features of the dial do not age. Sapphire crystal, of course, and you'll note that the timepiece features that red Daytona wrapped around the constant seconds register down at 6 o'clock. Inside the case, Rolex manufactured caliber 4130. There's a lot to say about 4130. First, for those who haven't had the pleasure, some of the finest column wheel feel and sound in the industry. The feel of the action is as good as a Longa Datograph L951, a Breitling B01, or Zenithal Primero caliber 400. Along with the Rolex movement, those are the standards for pusher feel. It's also a vertical clutch, so you can start the chronograph without any jump or stagger, and if you wish, you can leave it running, so you can have seconds, minutes, and hours at center. Just ignore the chronograph registers, and you can leave it running without wear or tear to the movement or any hazard. That's the advantage of a vertical clutch. 44 joules automatic winding. It was one of the first Rolex movements to feature a winding rotor bearing rather than a jeweled staff, so it's more impact resistant than, say, a 3135 that you'll find in a Submariner. Bidirectional action, nearly silent winding. It also features a 72-hour power reserve, so 3 days of autonomy, screw-down crowns and pushers, 100-meter water resistance. It beats away At 28,800 vibrations per hour, it features a full balance bridge with a free-sprung index for shock resistance, 5-position adjustment, and a COSC chronometer certification, and then ultimately it also includes a Breguet overcoil hairspring to help it earn that chronometer certification, and a Parachrom Blue niobium zirconium anti-magnetic alloy that comprises the hairspring to make this watch robustly anti-magnetic as well as shock resistant and water resistant. In other words, it's the full package. Whether you're a motorsports buff like myself or you merely appreciate an all-time great, email tmosso at thewatchbox.com for your purchase and pricing questions about this Rolex Daytona. The two-tone Daytona is green by night.